to the channel. Today we have another fall look, of course, and basically I'm just using fall as an excuse to do smoky looks I do year round anyway. But today we're going to be using the Through My Eyes palette from Colourpop and Iluvsarahii because it is like the most perfect fall palette ever and it is still available. So today's look we're going to be using some of these berry tones and purples, and I've been dying to use the shade Nocturne, which is what we have on the lid today, blended into a little bit of a goldy champagne on the inner corner, and I think it came out beautifully and it's easy to follow along with, and it's a very achievable look. It's no complicated cut creases or anything, just a little blending, and we use our finger to do the lid, so it's pretty simple and straightforward. I also have some hooded eye techniques thrown in. Before we get into this video, go ahead and drop me a like and subscribe and comment down below if you enjoy hooded eye makeup tutorials. And yeah, without further ado, spooky guys and gals, let's go ahead and get into this berry fall look. Okay guys, get you all zoomed in again. See, today's look is not going to be super complex or hard or anything like that. It's actually going to be pretty straightforward and kind of, what we do first is take in a wink on a BH Cosmetics fluffy brush, and I am just going to take that through the higher portion of my transition space. Because I have hooded lids and quite a large brow bone, I tend to use more than one transition shade. It's the joys of having a large brow bone and also the joys of having a hooded lid that comes with age. I'm taking this one pretty high, like just below the brow bone, and building it up. This is a pretty light shade. I don't know if it's really reading on camera. Probably for a lot of people this would be a base shade, but you know, I'm a vampire, so it's basically a transition shade for me. And with the shade, I'm not going to be shy with it. I'm going to take it pretty far out and up, really trying to create some shadow there. We're basically kind of just pre-contouring the eye before we go in with eyeshadow is what I'm doing. And I find this to be a very effective step just to make everything look a little more finished and cohesive and perfected. So next I'm going to take the shade Nostalgia, which is like a rosy color, same brush, and I'm going to take it just a little bit lower and blend it into in a wink. Next I want to take a smaller blending brush, one's a little more concentrated. This is still a BH Cosmetics brush, it's from the same set from the rose gold brushes, it's just slightly smaller and get a little bit more control with it. I'm going to take Misbehave, which is it's like a cranberry tone. I'm going to take this into the crease right in here and let that flow into the Nostalgia shade. So if I'm sounding like really stiffly today and stuffed up, it's because I am. We were having like crazy bad allergies here. Like it was on the news yesterday about it. That's been a particularly rough allergy season. I'm gonna take a little more Nostalgia and just take it around this edge. I just really want these shades to flow together and blend really nicely. So I'm jumping back in with my bigger fluffy brush and just softening that out. Alright, and I think I'm gonna build up a little more Misbehave on the smaller fluffy brush, kind of tap it in there and then blend. And don't be afraid to take your color kind of high if you have, you know, a lot of space between here and here in a large brow bone or just from hooded eyes and you're using some mattes. Go to town, freaking bring it up. Just don't, you know, bring it obviously straight to the brow. Use it to contour right in here. Don't bring your dark shade to your eyebrow. That's not gonna be a look. Just let it fade into nothingness up here. And a good trick to make sure everything fades like that is to use a base shade. Like I use translucent powder, which I forgot to mention. I've set my lid with translucent powder. Or you could use something like In a Wink or something close to your skin tone just to create a nice gradient and let the colors just flow into one another. Just be mindful and don't like go straight to the brow, but you can blend pretty high. Just make sure it's a gradient and not a harsh chunk of color That's something I do see a lot. That just looks like they just slapped it on with their finger almost, and I know they didn't. I know they're trying. Sometimes it does come down to just not being able to see very well or something. Be very patient, get some good brushes, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on brushes. A quality brush doesn't have to cost you $100. Like, you don't have to, I'm not saying go out and get some Hakuhodo brushes or some Wayne Goss brushes. I'm saying just get something from BH Cosmetics that will blend and get the job done. Or Real Techniques, Wet n Wild even, e.l.f. They all make some pretty decent brushes that you can accomplish a nice look with. Sonic Kashuk brushes are probably my favorite brushes. I have a whole blog post on eyeshadow brushes. I will link it below in the description box. I do recommend reading it because sometimes I have my own terminology of brushes and that will just kind of help clarify what the heck I'm talking about sometimes. Okay, so I'm taking this kind of out. Again, because I do have a curve there because I have a large brow bone. Something I'm making sure to do is relax my eye and making sure that that shade Misbehave that's going in the crease is very visible when my eye is relaxed. I'm just going to take an angled brush, also from the BH Cosmetics collection. Let's show you here. What we do is I'm going to take the shade Divina, which is the purple, and knock off the excess. I'm going to take and just kind of stamp right here. I'm going to just stamp it right in here and kind of pull it into the crease. I'm just gonna build that up. This is the outer V. That's what we're messing with right now. I'm just gonna pull it up in kind of a winged shape. I'm just gonna letting that flow into the crease. I'm probably gonna come back in with the shade towards the end after I've done my lid shade just to make sure everything's blended. But I just want to go ahead and lay it down now just as a guide to know where I want to put it. Yeah, you see I'm angling the brush like this when I'm turning it to come up so that it just fits right into that curve. And I feel like it's laying down most of the pigment into here. Because when I dip it, I'm dipping it straight down to where most of the pigmentation is, or most of the product is hitting the high points. So when you kind of take it and you go kind of pat it on and then turn it and blend. This was actually one of the first blending brushes I ever used when I was like in junior high. Not this specific brush obviously, but an angled blending brush, and it was like the most genius thing ever. I was like, oh my gosh, this brush is amazing. I remember getting a set of brushes from Big Lots when I was 14. They were from the 17 magazine, like it had like a little makeup brand for a little bit there. And they were green, like jade colored. And oh my gosh, it had a brush like this in it. Game changed. It had like an angled liner brush, like all the basics. And they were actually really good brushes. Like, I mean, this is from memory, and I'm thinking those were good brushes. I would probably buy those brushes now and think, ugh. But they were like $1.99 at Big Lot. And man, I didn't know any other girls that used brushes for their eyeshadow. I thought I was a makeup artist. So, like, I didn't know you used brushes for eyeshadow either. My mom told me, and she's like, try using brushes. I was like, what? What do you mean use brushes? She created a monster with me. Like, she let me watch Tu Wong Fu. It's her fault that I am like this with the makeup. She's the one who let me watch RuPaul's talk show when I was like 6. And Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar when I was little. And watch things with drag queens. That's how this happened. And beauty infomercials. I loved watching those, like QVC, when they would do like have like a makeup person on. Oh my god. I would actually sit down and watch it and like take notes of what they were doing. And she would get me like 17 magazine, of course, Cosmo Girl, all these things that would show up, like how to do makeup, like Vogue even, like, oh my goodness. Anything that was about makeup I wanted. Okay, if the camera's moved again, it's because I had to delete some files because my memory was full. See, now that we've got the purple laid down and looking pretty good, what I'm going to do next is take the shade Nocturne. I'm just going to use my finger. I'm going to take it on the lid. I'm just going to build that up. Just kind of on the middle part of the lid. And I'm going to take this pencil brush. I already have this purple shade on because I used it yesterday. And I'm going to go right into here and just blend. Heck yeah, that looks good. I like that. If it comes up a little bit high, I'm not gonna be mad. So that's okay. This look's not a cut crease or anything. It's not about precision. It's just about creating a pretty look. Okay, I'm gonna do some little last minute blending here before we move on with the Nostalgia shade. Just gonna take her right around here. Just to make sure everything's nice and smooth looking. Okay, I think next I'm going to take a small kind of Packer Honor brush. This is from the one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. It's just a, you know, short, dense brush. It's good for just packing on shadow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Lucido. Good God, I swear, I just had a stroke for a minute there. Lucido. I'm going to take that and I'm going to hit this inner part right here. That just brings some light in there so it doesn't look quite such a heavy look and more of glam. Okay, I think that's the eyeshadow on the upper lid complete. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this fallout and do a little bit of liner. Since I cut, I have gone to Taco Bell. I have come back and I finished up my face, done my contour and all that part. And I have a little bit of setting powder under my eye to catch any fallout. And I've also tight lined with a brown eyeliner and did like a little wing with a brown liquid liner. So now what we're gonna do, I'm going to take that Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, the same one, I've cleaned it off mostly, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of Misbehave and I'm gonna run that along this lower lash line. Trying to keep it fairly close. I basically want this to blend into the upper eyeshadow. Okay, I'm going to take Divina now. It's the deep purple. Trying to stick really close to that lash line and letting it diffuse. Just kind of making a nice elongated effect. Make sure it joins up. My wing I don't want to be super distinct. It's just kind of there for a little bit of a whatever. I'm kind of blending it and softening the pigmentation on it. It's just there for like a suggestion of a wing. I'm gonna go into Nostalgia now. And come along under here and blend. Gonna smoke it out a little bit. Okay, so I think I want to do next is go in with a little bit of Lucido on that same brush. I'm just gonna clean off the other product and I'm gonna take it on the inner corner here. And as a last step, I'm gonna take my blending brush, the largest one that I was using, and I'm gonna take in a wink. And I'm gonna pull all around these edges right in here where I contoured and just let it flow down into the contour a little bit and just kind of make sure everything's blended and smooth. Okay, so next I'm gonna go ahead and put on some mascara and we'll be done with the eye. Okay, as a final finishing touch on the eye, I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my face highlighter from the ABH Glow Kit, the Sugar Glow Kit. I'm gonna use the shade Butterscotch and a teeny tiny brush. Clean off my little pencil brush here. Butterscotch and just hit right in here. Just right in here and yeah. And I'm gonna do something that I don't do very often, which is highlight the brow bone. I tend to have a little bit of texture up here, so I don't like to highlight too much, and I feel like it emphasizes my big ass brow bone, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit just under the arch. just right there. And soften it. Just kind of ties the look together a little bit more. Alright, now I'm going to finish up the face and we'll be back for some finishing touches. I'm going to use a Stila Stay All Day in the shade Rico, which is one of my absolute favorite shades from Stila and just in general. It's just a beautiful burgundy. Alright, let me go ahead and do some setting spray and we'll be back for the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. Just something kind of very fall, cranberry, warm reds, and a little bit of a champagne-y gold in the inner corner, and a vampy lip. I just really want to do some red tones and use the Colourpop Through My Eyes palette with Iluvsarahii because it's so beautiful and it's just so perfect for fall. I mean, and I've been dying to use the shade Nocturne in some capacity and I just really haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, this is the look for today. We're gonna be going to a birthday party, a nice little get together and hanging out, and I thought this is kind of a nice classy smoky eye. I don't know. I know I did something kind of similar to this a while back, but it was like a terrible quality, filmed at night using the Boss Mood palette. It was my vampire look and it was a little more red than this one. This one's a little more purpley, cranberry, raspberry looking, I guess. But anyway, if you enjoyed watching this video and seeing how I got this look, just comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Stay spooky. Bye now.